Into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Good evening there, and welcome to the latest Elite FPL podcast, where of course tonight it's Thursday evening preview show. It's the day where we predict what will be happening, what we think will be happening at the weekend. Yes. Where of course we'll be going through our score predictions. It'll be myself, Jason, along with one of you guys, one of the callers. So please, if you want to represent the callers for your predictions, by all means jump into the Discord waiting room right this second, and we will be cracking on with that straight away. Of course, we'll also be revealing what we have done ahead of the game week. Other than that, good evening, Jason, and good evening, everybody. Who's joining us, my friend?
Yo, good evening, everybody. Let me just move this out of the way. I hope you guys are having a great week. Looking forward to the weekend and looking forward to having a break from your jobs. I know I am. It's been mad. It's been a mad week. Literally, we're down members of staff and everyone decides that they want work done. So there you go. That's generally how it works. But yes, pleasure to be here again, Steve-O. And nice to have all of you guys in chat as well. James Bang, we've got Ryan Seachern, Dave Pimpernel. Yeah, these no effects were last minute. I decided to do it last minute. It took me like 15 minutes to set up. So I hope it isn't going to bug out. But yeah, we got DUK in chat. We've got Tobias. We've got Brew, Uncle Juicy TV, Marco Hodzic. We've got who else we got here? Cameron Rawcliffe flying high in the community league. We got Teddy Munguia, Gabriel Durop, FPL Boona is there as well. Hey Llama, how you doing? Good evening. So I know, I just want to say now, right, guys, we were talking about, the blue badge. Yes, I'm not talking about that sort of blue badge. I'm talking about the blue badge that Bruce sporting in the chat there. Not the sort of badge that lets you park on yellow lines, I'm afraid, but it is the badge that shines nice and blue in the chat. Thank you ever so much for that follow. So yes, game week 18. This season is flying by, it seems. We are literally approaching halfway through the season. How are you feeling about game week 18, Steve? Are you excited?
Yeah, it's someone's mentioned a minute ago that it's all going to be captain different. Well, I bet you £1,000,000 it's not going to be captain differentials. It's all going to be the same ones, but I'm hoping it's going to be differential captains. Well,
I'm hoping too, because this game week, I mean, I dare say it's going to be a bit of a choice for people. People will probably stick with Vardy for this form factor, but away at Man City, I don't know. And I've got the captain armband on Marcus Rashford at the moment. What's your thoughts on Marcus Rashford as captain? I know that you kind of through gritted teeth, you kind of weren't too impressed about that captaincy pick on the show the other day. Are you kind of thinking I maybe on some points there, or do you think it's a bit of a waste away at Watford against the lesser teams? Man United are rubbish.
I'd be more confident in Greenwood, to be honest with you. I think the game's terrible. I honestly don't think I've got it down as 1-1 personally when we do our predictions, but I think there are a couple of better games to be captaining a player from, or a couple of teams, and I don't think Man United is one of them.
Spurs perhaps being one of those teams.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I've got that as a high scoring game. Personally,
captaining Son, says James Carson in chat. That's I can see people doing that. Rashford is most popular captain. Is he really? I haven't seen the recent polls on that. I'll be amazed if that's true. The Xmas period separates the men from the boys, says FPL Alex the Kid in chat. I mean, kind of agree. I mean, normally by this time in the season, we would see the pack starting to kind of pull away from the rest of the part-time FPL players, I like to call them, and this year, for whatever reason, well, it has been a weird year where a lot of popular FPL players just haven't been performing, or haven't, even top FPL managers have had it hard, and I think there's so much kind of, what's the word? There's so many managers in the top 1 million, like literally compacted into a very few points. So there's chances of making great gains over this winter period, over these fixture congestions. Hey, Block FPL, how you doing? Hello, Ari Hiroki in chat too. And Muke for Lewis, welcome. Remember the 5-1 win for City, he says, Muke for Lewis. And we'll talk about Man City, because I don't own anyone from Man City. And I'm sure Steve-O will have the stats, and he'll have the history predictions on that. So yes, let me just bring up the prediction screen. I hope I don't have to sign in, because if I do, of course I do. Just give me a second. Steve-O, talk to us about any research you've been doing while I sign in.
Well, just before.
Is there anyone who wants to come on, by any way?
Yeah, if anybody wants to come live on air, by all means, come on now. We're kind of looking for people that haven't been on before. This is your opportunity to represent the callers to predict the games this specific weekend. But when I was doing my research, to be honest with you, it was coming up with a lot of away wins this particular game week. Yeah, not many goals involved. at all regarding the history and everything, and the captaincy history as well is pretty meh for him. In fact, the captaincies that I've gone with are Son, Ali, Kane. Vince Chapman wanted me to do Kevin De Bruyne and Richarlison. And of course, Jamie Vardy, I thought for. I've also, Jason, I've also come up with a little fun trivia question that I found that I could ask.
Okay.
Regarding Sheffield United of all teams. So hopefully your knowledge of Sheffield United back from 2008 is up to speed.
Well, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say it probably isn't. But reminder, guys, if you do want to come on and join us on the show, come into our Discord. We're there waiting for you. Be a guest on the show and join us in our score predictions this evening. As you can see on the screen in front of us, we've got the Elite FPL score prediction game. It's free to play. Anyone can play it on elitefpl.com. You get 3 points for a correct result, 1 point for a correct outcome, and no points obviously if you get it wrong. But so far in the leaderboard, actually, we've got Lino ahead of Alex Todorov and Christian there in third place. Christian doing really well in previous months. So Lino, well done to you if you're watching or watch back on the replay. We are noticing that you're very good at predicting. So anyway, let's see if anyone's in the Discord at the moment.
No, they're not.
Think there is anyone anyway. So
FPL Boona, you're screaming to get on air. So Boona, just jump in.
Get the Boona on. Absolutely.
Jump in and everything, because we all know that Boona has done a -12, I believe, Jason.
Well,
-12.
Well, I applaud Boona in his -12. Hopefully you come on in a second. We can have a little chat about it. Obviously, I'm not averse to taking hits, and if he thinks that it's going to pay out, then hats off. I mean, he's had the luxury of getting lots of points last week, so maybe you can spend some this week in trying to get some more. Hey, Boona, how you doing? Good evening, Boona. How are you?
Good evening, mate. I'm good, thanks.
-12. What's going on?
I'm just enjoying myself, mate. Enjoying the game.
Wow, that's exactly what I was doing earlier on in the season, and to you know what? I don't regret it. I don't regret doing my -12, -16.
I don't regret it right now either. To be honest, I think my transfers are. I think they're okay. To be honest, I think they could pay off this week alone. But time will tell.
Well, G Wiz in chat says, "Lovely jubbly, -12." I can hear it. I can hear his voice in my head going, "Lovely jubbly," and even Davey P, who's really happy about your -12, Boona. I think he may have mentioned it once or twice, and so's FPL Maestro. Hello.
Can you hear me, Jason?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, dude. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah,
you jumped out of the chat, did you? No, that's fine. So obviously, Gameweek 18 ahead of us. Have you got your team? I just want to show the guys that are viewing the stream at the moment your team. Have you got it by any chance in the team screenshots, or could you get it in the team screenshots?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so Steve-O, while we're waiting for Boona to post his team, what's your initial thoughts on someone doing a -12 ahead of a game week that I personally think is going to be shocking? I think the average is going to be well below 50. I think it's going to possibly may even be below 40. Thoughts?
Well, Boona did put up a poll on his Twitter account, and it was something along the lines of here we are. How do I think these moves will all go? And to be honest with you, for a -12, I've forgotten what he's done. It's where are we now? It was when you did moveset to Jota. For -12, when, like I say, I'm very, very cynical about everything, and I just think, as a rival, I'm glad you've done it. -12.
I love it. I love it when my rivals are cynical, and I love it when my rivals doubt me, because it makes me want to do that little bit more, better.
Boona, welcome to my world, mate. Every week when Steve-O's bashing my minuses points.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I'm just about to post it now.
No. Cool. So, is that what you've been having? Have you been having a bit of flack about this -12? Have you met many people that have been like, fair play? I can see why you did it.
I had a lot of that, to be fair, on Twitter. I had quite a few comments saying that you've done well last week and it clearly worked well for you. So, this is ballsy, but it could pay off. And I agree. I do think it could pay off.
Wow. Well, Boona, where have you posted it, by the way?
Just screenshotting it into there now, into team screenshot.
Awesome. I'll get it up on
Right
the
now.
screen now, guys. So remind everybody who are the players involved in your -12?
Let me bring my tweet up, because that tweet sums it all up nicely.
I can't even find it.
So my tweet, it was 8 hours ago, and it was, I got rid of Salah,
Yeah.
Trent, Vardy, Musette, and Wickham. I brought in Harry Kane, Rashford, Martial, Vertonghen, and Jota.
Vertonghen.
Well, this is it. I mean,
Right.
I didn't really want this. I would have liked Doherty, but that particular pick is a bit more longer term.
Interesting. I mean, Tottenham and clean sheets, they don't seem to go in the same sentence. Do you think that that's going to change anytime soon? Or is this because you just think there wasn't that many options and you saw Vertonghen got a goal and that was it? Got to get him in.
Yeah, he's actually playing quite well, and I like left back position. So everyone's kind of going Aurier, and you know me, I don't like to go for all the players that everyone else has. So thought I'd go something different.
Definitely going to be captain in Harry Kane, I assume.
I'm not sure about definite, to be honest.
Vice captains on Rashford. You own Rashford.
Torn.
I've viced it. I've obviously captained him. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm torn. Well, Rashford captain, you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good captain. I'm torn between Son, Rashford, Kane, and even Jota. I think he could be a good captain, but he's not consistent enough, and that's the only thing that puts me off. So I think I'm going to go Kane or Son.
For a 1 weeker, the -12 is fine. It's just the fact that it's do you think you're going to make up this -12 this specific game? Because this just seems like a free hit type. In fact, I thought about using a free hit.
No, not at all. I absolutely think it's going to pay off in the same game. Well, can I tell you why, Steve-O? I've got rid of Salah and Trent and Wickham, who don't play this game week. Wickham won't play. Musei's shit. Sorry. Musei's rubbish, and he'll probably blank. So that's 2 points. So that's 12 and 2, 14. Vardy scores a goal, let's say. He gets a 2 bonus. That's 8 points. So you've got 22 points there to be made up through Kane, Rashford, Martial, Vertonghen, and Jota. And I think that's realistic.
But then I hope it works out for you.
Then you're relying on this team moving forward, or are you then thinking,
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to hold transfer in game week 19, and then because I only had 0.1 profit made in Vardy, I could easily bring Vardy back in in 2 game weeks time when I've got 2 free transfers.
And I know. Obviously, you've benched Mane. I don't think I've asked you this, or we've spoken about this, because obviously, I've not been around in Discord that much recently. But is Salah on your radar potentially after game week 20 or into the new year?
No, probably not till 6-7 game weeks down.
Okay, so you just basically to keep an eye on Mane, but you're looking to probably get one of maybe Trent or Robertson back in, or you again with the money spent up front with Kane, depending on how he does, it's going to make that sort of transfer and defence difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking to keep Kane for his run, the next 4 games, and going to reassess, because then his fixtures do they turn a bit after the next 4?
They do after about next 4 or 5 game weeks. But I mean, in terms of positioning from Harry Kane and form, are you confident that he's going to be this Christmas sort of era, like this time of year when he starts to score? Obviously you've got him in, you've put the armband on him now. Are you going to have that faith in Harry Kane to follow through, do you think? What percentage would you say is with the armband on Harry Kane come the deadline on Saturday?
I can't imagine it's very high. And yeah, I'm not saying... I'm not for 1 second saying Kane's, one of the most informed players in the league. He's clearly not, but it's a London derby. He's a nice differential. Yep. And you know me, I like to go different like you were earlier in the season. So, why
definitely.
not? Yeah. Hashtag play your own game. Hashtag GWiz created that term. Do you know what I mean? So look, I feel like I've created a buffer in my past game week by scoring that 94 points.
Yeah.
And I'm just eating into that buffer. Even with this 12-point hit, I worked out I'm at I probably dropped to around 100, 115k, but that's nothing. There's still 19, 20 game weeks to go.
Oh no, absolutely. There's plenty.
I'm absolutely not worrying. I'm living in Davy P's head still. So
living in Davy P's head. Absolutely, I like it.
Well, what about that? The cash league. Where do you drop in the cash mini league? Have you worked that out?
I'll tell you right now. 1 second. Bear with me. I am going to drop to 17th. No, not 7th. Yeah, 7. No, 16th.
Wow.
Yeah,
but I'm fine with that.
It still shows how tight it is, really. And again, I mean, we keep talking about it. The captaincy is so important. If you get the captain right, you can make serious gains. Because I think this week you're not going to have multiple players scoring big points. I think that it's going to be on basically on Spurs, whether they turn up at home to Chelsea, or Man United, if they can actually break down Watford. I mean, I personally think that I will keep the armband on Rashford. I really do.
I'm particularly excited for Boxing Day, to be honest, because I'm going to the game now for Spurs again. So it's just
brilliant.
A lot to look forward to.
Absolutely brilliant. Should we get into the predictions?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, so Gameweek 18 is upon us, everybody. And not long to go now. Let's bring up the predictions here. And hopefully, there we go, all logged in. So we start off the early game where people are bringing in mass Richarlison. Thoughts quickly on Richarlison, Steve-O, and Boona?
Sorry, Jason, just a quick one. We got someone called Ted Mwangi in our chat now, and he's from Kenya. And
hello, Ted.
He's 11th in our community league. That's outstanding.
Very
absolutely outstanding.
Just a couple of places above me, then, Ted. Doing really well, mate. Doing really well.
He's exactly where I finished last season, 3,001.
Wow.
That's excellent. Well done. Well done. Richarlison is a troll, says DUK. I have avoided getting him in myself. However, I can see why people are doing it, because it's against Arsenal, and at the moment, Arsenal look like they're shipping goals for fun. Even
is that Arteta been announced yet?
I haven't heard it being announced. No, I don't know if Boone has heard anything. I haven't heard anything.
It's not been officially announced, but it is happening. They're just waiting on compensation to be paid, and I think City are asking for $1 million or $2 million, I heard.
I'm sorry, but I just think it's such an uninspirational signing. I really do. I think if they were getting Ancelotti, I'd be like, wow, they mean business. But Arteta...
Small club, isn't it, Steve? A small club mentality.
Yeah. Well, you joke, but I honestly think it is small team mentality, because a team the size of Arsenal should not be appointing a coach from a rival. I just think it's just such a strange move, and if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be happy with that at all. And talking of prediction, I think it's going to have... if normally you get like a manager bounce, like we all saw what happened with Nigel Pearson and Watford last weekend. They should have got something from them. I know they didn't, but if you're an Arsenal player and you're hearing that Mikel Arteta's coming, you're just thinking, oh, I don't care. It's like Freddie Ljungberg. You would think, oh, maybe they get a bit of a bounce because an Arsenal legend is in charge. Nah. In fact, if anything, you would argue it's got worse. And that's why I'm personally predicting Everton are going to win this 2-1, Jason.
Interesting. 2-1. Okay. Just want to say thank you, everybody that's joined us on YouTube for our first, first for a while anyway, our first prediction game week preview. 176 of you tuning in for this evening to spend your time on a Thursday evening going through fixtures. We are back on YouTube. This weekend we will be live on Twitch throughout. I don't know what Steve-O's commitments are, but I certainly will be live on Twitch through the 3 o'clock games on Saturday. Okay, so let's go into predictions then, shall we? Everton versus Arsenal. I see goals in this game for both teams. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Everton. Steve-O.
Well, as I've already just said 6 seconds ago, 2-1 win to Everton as well. So Boona.
Oh, there you go. I was listening. Boona.
3-1 Everton.
3-1 to Everton. Wow, okay.
Well, the history's going 2-1. There have been 23 goals scored across the last 6 fixtures in this particular game. There's also been 3 red cards, and in 2 occasions, Arsenal have actually scored 5 times versus Everton. So you never know; it could be a high-scoring game for Arsenal. But
interesting. We've got Gavin Gold in chat saying it's 2-0 to Everton. Nasty Ball saying 2-0 to Everton. Simon Bellamy says 1-1. Davey P 2-2. FPL Penguin going with an Everton win 2-1. Firetog saying 2-1 to Everton. Lots of people going with an Everton 2-1, it seems. Michael Svelin 1-all. Chelsea Flyer 2-1 Everton again. 3-1 to Arsenal, says Ryan Seachern, going against the grain. Tobias says 2-2. Jason J says 2-2 also. And so does Yassine Klaus. So interesting. So not many people going with an Arsenal win. But people are predicting, Ted saying 3-0. People predicting goals in that game. So who knows? If you did bring Richarlison in, you may be getting some points this weekend. But if you haven't already, then is it worth a -4? I don't think so. Right. Aston Villa versus Southampton, Steve-o.
Well, actually, that reminds me just quickly. So Richarlison's history versus
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Arsenal for Everton is he's had 2 starts and he's got 0 returns. So there we are. Vince Chapman, waste of space. On to, as you're about to say, the what's going to be not a great game, Aston Villa versus Southampton. And I'm just going to go, I've got a lot of 2-1s, Jason, this particular game week. 2-1 to Aston Villa.
2-1 to Aston Villa. I think that I could see Villa getting the win in this game. Can I see Southampton scoring? No, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Aston Villa in this fixture.
Let's hope so, because of those Danny Ings owners.
Oh, the jammy Danny Ings owner.
Yeah, I'm also going to...
Last time you did these predictions, Boona, you did pretty well, didn't you?
Did I? I don't remember actually. You don't have that to hand, do you?
I will. I'll bring it up in a second, but I know for a fact that you got a couple. You got a 2-2 between teams, and I was at the time I was kind of laughing about it, but you got it bang on the money. I'll find out in a second.
Nasty Ball says 2-1 to Villa, 2-0 Southampton, says Dave Lister. I know that name. It's on the red on the Red Dwarf. Villa versus Southampton 1-1, says Pradipta. We've got Chelsea Flyer, no returns. Michael Svedin, 2-0 Villa. Simon Batchelor, 2-0 Villa. Simon Bellamy, 2-0 Villa. 1-1 from Chelsea Flyer, Wiz and James Carson. 1-0 win to Villa, says James Bang. And lots of 1s and 0s and 2s and 0s. Mohamed Dharma saying 2-0 to Aston Villa. Huge relegation matchup. Interesting.
Yeah, so Boona, basically, in the Bournemouth-Liverpool game, you were 1 goal out. You predicted 4-0, it ended 3. And Spurs-Burnley, that was it. You predicted 4-0, obviously, it ended 5.
I know, when I was listening to it on the radio, when it turned 5-0, I was like, for God's sake.
And if it were... Yeah, and that particular weekend, the history actually came out on top.
Another Hoops in chat is saying he's writing down your predictions, Boona, and he's going to put an Aki on them. So,
please don't another Hoops. No, next time I'll throw you off and lose all your money.
No pressure, Boona. Move on. So, yes, Bournemouth against your club, Burnley. Steve, do you want to kick off with a prediction on this one?
Yeah, it's the usual thing. It's a relegation rival, which means that we never lose. We beat, obviously, Newcastle 1-0 last week, got our clean sheet as ever, and I think we're going to win again. And I'm going to go 2-1 to Burnley, Jason.
2-1 to Burnley? I'm going to reverse the scoreline, I'm afraid. I'm going to go with a home win again for my score prediction. I'm going to go with 2-1 to Bournemouth.
And I'm going to go completely against history because the history seems to be favouring Burnley. And I'm going to say that Bournemouth are going to turn things around this game week. And I'm going to go for Bournemouth to win 3-1.
Oh, 3-1.
3-1. Well, the history for Aston Villa Southampton, there's been 3 it's saying 1-1. There's been 3 draws, 2 of them being 1-1. Although three of the 6 games Southampton have played versus Aston Villa, they've won 12 goals to 4. One of them being a 5-1 and a 4-2. The last time these met at Villa Park was a 4-2. So could actually be a very, very high-scoring game for Danny Ings. Regarding Bournemouth Burnley, there's been no draws in the last 6 fixtures. Burnley have won 4 out of the last 6, and there's been 22 goals in those 6 fixtures. Moving on to what I think will be a very, very low-scoring game. It's Brighton versus Sheffield United, and I'm going 1-1, Jason.
1-1. I'm gonna go with a 1-0 win to Sheffield United.
Oh, let's hope so.
I'm going to be predicting a scoreline which doesn't do well for my FPL team, but I'm going to go for 1-0 to Brighton.
Oh, okay.
Got a bad feeling.
So, draw, Steve-O says. I say a win to Sheffield, and you're going with a win to Brighton. So, we're covering all the bases there. We've got the guys in chat talking about this fixture. Chelsea Fly 1-0 to Sheffield United. 0-0, Plavak says in chat. Another Hoops 1-1. 3-3, says James Carson. 2-1 set to Sheffield United, says James Bang. 1-0, says Gavin Gold to Sheffield United. We've got 0-0 from JC. 2-0 Brighton, says Chris A. Yassine saying 0-0 along with Meek 4 Lewis and Tobias also. And a 1-1 ball draw, says Scott Speed 1000. Interesting.
Well, history's going 3-1 to Sheffield United. It all the way dates back to 2002, these 6 fixtures, and Sheffield United have won 4 of the last 6, and there's been 19 goals scored. Now, that trivia question is this. So, Boona, Jason, chat.
I have no
it's a bit
idea.
Of a trick question, but it's still a genuine answer. The last time these two met at Brighton was in 2008. It ended 1-0 to Sheffield United. Which current Premier League player scored that 1 goal?
Oh
my God.
It's a bit of a trick question, but this player does still play.
2008. 11 years ago.
What position does he play?
That would be giving it away, my friend.
Oh my God.
Jagielka.
Jason?
Well, I mean, in chat now. I need to look away. I'm going to be honest. I have got no idea, Steve-O.
Well, Dan, congratulations to Dan. Bang on. I don't know if Boona, if you copied Dan or anything.
No, I didn't. I actually hadn't looked at the chat until you guys mentioned that you're looking at the chat.
Jagielka, really? Was it Jagielka?
Yeah, in a 1-0 win. Would you believe so?
Okay.
Absolutely
I had
crazy.
no idea. Sorry.
All a bit of fun. Talking of all a bit of fun, this certainly isn't going to be a bit of fun. It's Newcastle versus Crystal Palace, and 0-0. Neither team can score. So Jason, your Guaita is going to come in with another clean sheet.
Oh, please!
Probably
I'd love it if he does.
0 save points because Newcastle cannot take any shots.
Well, I'll let Boona go first in this one. Newcastle at home to Crystal Palace. Your thoughts?
They're going to cancel each other out. I've got K. Obviously, I've taken a -12. No one's going to keep a clean sheet. 1-1.
You said 0-0, did you, Steve-O?
1-1.
I went 0-0, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So you're going what? Sorry, Boona?
1-1.
1-1. So another draw. I'm going to go with. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I got Zaha in, but I'm going to go with an away win to Crystal Palace 1-0.
Do you know, funny enough, actually, I was actually seriously thinking of going 1-0 to Crystal Palace, but Newcastle are just very, very good at home. Talking of
a lot of people
the history, though.
Yeah.
Well, before we get onto them, 1-0 to Newcastle. There's been 4 clean sheets out of 6 in this particular fixture, 3 of them being 1-0, all at Newcastle, 2 of them for Newcastle, and 1 of them for Crystal Palace. So it may potentially come in. So what are the guys thinking, Jason?
Yeah, 1-0 Palace, says Tobias. 1-0, says Mohamed Dama. We've got 1-0 Newcastle. It's a bit split here. 2-0 to Newcastle, another Hoop says. 1-0 to Palace, says Gavin Gould. 0-0, Yassine and Michael Svedin says. 1-0, David Lister. I mean, it's not looking that divided. It's either going with a 0-0 or draw, or a 1-0 victory for either team. Pretty much that's predictions in a nutshell for that game.
Norwich versus Wolves. Now, obviously, Boona's gone and brought in Jota. A lot of people are seriously thinking of captaining Jimenez in this game. It's like I said, Norwich versus Wolves, and I think Wolves will edge this 2-1, Jason.
2-1. I'm going to actually go with a 2-2 draw in this game. I am, yeah. A high-scoring game, 2-2, and I do think Jimenez may be well involved, and I think it could be a Pookie appearance again in this fixture. So those of you with Pookie, all 6 of you in chat, maybe consider the armband.
Boona, are you confident for Jota?
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 to Wolves.
Wow, lots of people going with a Wolves comprehensive victory in chat. Well, I've seen 3-1, I've seen 4-1, 3-0 to Wolves, 2-0 to Wolves, 3-0 to Wolves, 2-1 to Wolves. Everyone's going with a Wolves win almost. So yes. What's 3-3 Tobias says? What's history say on this one?
History saying 2-1 to Norwich. Norwich have won 3 out of the last 6, 2 of them being at home. There's also been a couple of red cards in this fixture, so possibly another one in that. It's another fixture like the Arsenal game where there's been quite a few red cards. Now then, on to the big game of the weekend. It's Man City versus Leicester. I'm personally confident that Man City are going to come out of this comfortable, and I'm going to go 3-1 to City, Jason.
If Man City win this game, I mean, a lot of people are saying the Premier League is done and dusted with Liverpool. If it's a draw, I think that is the case. If Leicester lose, I think it's the case. I think that this is going to have goals in it for both teams. I see Vardy possibly.
I hope so.
I see Vardy doing something in this game. Maybe just a 1 return. I see De Bruyne doing something in this game. Sterling, I definitely see Sterling doing something in this game. I'm fearful of not owning Sterling in this game. I don't know why, I just am. I'm going to go with a 3-2 win to Man City.
Boona.
I think it's going to be quite a cagey match. Stats, I think, were saying that City have tightened up in shots that they're conceding and stuff, and Leicester have been quite tight in defence. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to City.
1-0.
Yeah, this particular game, I knew it when I was going to do looking at the last 6. It's always tight. And it proves so. Man City have only won 3 out of the last 6, and only on one occasion have they actually won by more than 1 goal. And that was, as someone mentioned earlier, in that 5-1 victory. And the history's going just, and I mean just, 2-1 to Man City because it is at their place. If it was at Leicester, it would have gone 2-1 to Leicester. The history for Kevin De Bruyne and Vardy. So Kevin De Bruyne, 4 starts, 1 sub-appearance, 3 goals, 3 assists. And in that 5-1 victory, he got 3 assists. Aguero got 4 goals. Jamie Vardy, it's okay actually. 5 starts, 2 goals and 1 assist. So it wouldn't be such a bad idea captaining a Man City asset, and out of them to obviously KDB. Could be certainly worth a punt there. Now, Watford versus Man U. I've sat on the fence, Jason, on this. I've gone 1-1, but I can see it 2-1 either way as well. But I have gone 1-1, Jason.
I don't think Man United are going to concede. I really don't. I'm going to go with a very, very rare clean sheet for Man United in this game.
Well, Boona will be happy.
Boona will be happy. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Manchester United.
2-0.
2-0 United. I'm agreeing with the Don. Ryan says 3-1 United. Nice. Firetog 2-0 United. 2-0 Watford, Ryan. No, don't be silly. 2-0 win to City. We moved on now to Watford Man United. 3-1 Watford, says Simeon. We've got 2-1 United, says Dan Bull. 3-1 to Counter-Attack FC. 2-1 to Watford. Okay, all right. So people predicting 2-1s to Watford and 2-1s to United. I think United will get a clean sheet in this game. I really do.
Come on, Boona. What do you think?
Oh, well, I'm going to keep my FPL goggles firmly on in this.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going for 3-0 United.
I'll take that, mate. I'll take that. I'll be really happy.
Well, what we will be happy with is with the history. It's going 2-1 to United, and Man United have won 5 out of the last 6. There's been 19 goals across the 6 fixtures, but more importantly, 13 of those 19 have been at Vicarage Road. So it looks like it could be goals galore there, and certainly no clean sheets whatsoever. And then finally, on to Booner's team. It's Tottenham versus Chelsea, and a lot of people I know will be interested in the particular captaincy choices in Son, Ali and Kane. I'm going for a very high-scoring game here. And you know all those games that are ending 3-2, 4-2 to Tottenham? I think we're going to go back to that again. And I think it's going to be open game. And I'm going to go 3-2 to Tottenham. Let's let Booner go first, Jason. Booner?
Sorry, mate, you're cracking up for me there. I am going to go for 3-1.
I like that prediction, and you'll know why in a second. You confident in Ali or Son, though, rather than Kane?
No, I mean, I hope Ali blanks.
I think it's going to be 2-1 to Tottenham.
Well, you mentioned 3-1 to Tottenham, Booner. Chelsea have won 3 out of 6. 2 of them being 2-1, 1 of them being a 2-0. Although Tottenham have won 2 of them 3-1. So there is a chance that this could end 3-1 to Tottenham. The history, though, not particularly great for the guys, other than Dele Alli. Son, 4 starts, 1 sub-appearance, 1 goal. Ali, 4 starts, 3 goals, 1 assist. Kane, 5 starts, 1 sub-appearance, just the 1 goal. He's also picked up a couple of yellow cards across those 6 fixtures as well. Not particularly looking great unless you own Ali, Jason.
Interesting, which I do. No, it hasn't really, I mean, that's, again, I understand people looking to captain Tottenham assets. I just think that that Man United fixture, I think there's goals in that game for United, and I think if you own Rashford, I think that he'd be up on my radar above. The thing with Spurs is you just don't know. Whereas with Man United, pretty much everything goes through Rashford at the moment. Obviously, Bruno's got the luxury of having Harry Kane and Son. What's your thoughts on Ali anyway, Bruno?
Sorry, mate, I had myself muted there. My thoughts on Ali are that he's done well.
Can you see it keeping it up? Can you see him keeping it up?
I hope he doesn't, only because I don't own him. How bad is that for me to say? But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I want to see how he does over these next few games, and then we'll be able to tell whether he's an option or not. But I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's done well, but whether he can keep it up or not is a bit difficult to say at this moment. Yeah,
Steve-O mentioning that Ali's got a good record against Chelsea, FPL Penguin. Best of luck to people that do captain Dele Alli in that fixture. Chelsea aren't exactly the best at the back, so there could definitely be goals in that game. I'm going with 2-1. So yes, that's pretty much finishes our predictions up for this game week 18. It'd be interesting to see how we get on. And just quickly, would you like to just discuss our team, Steve-O?
Yes, absolutely. I will post in more. Can we start with the community team? I'll post it in the team screenshots, because we do have a poll vote for everybody to part of. They've already voted for their the transfer, which was Trent Alexander out for Matt Doherty.
Interesting.
But there we are, done. That'll be part of there in 2 seconds, Jason. So yeah, if everybody wants to vote on who they want to captain this particular game week, and of course I've just gone and posted my team. Brilliant.
You're captaining Mane, are you, Steve-O?
Yeah.
I would love it if he does.
What was it? There we are.
Not that it'd matter, of course, to be fair.
So there is the community team there.
Where is it? There we go.
Just posted underneath.
Right, community team is on the screen here, guys. Remember, you can influence the transfers that happen in this community team by going onto our Discord and voting.
That's already happened. It's the captaincy now.
All right, no, you can vote on the captaincy. Sorry, I beg your pardon. for this community team. So get involved, get on Discord, and make your vote count. Currently on Kevin De Bruyne, I believe. So the transfer was Doherty in for Trent Alexander-Arnold. We're benching Mane and a pretty decent team there, Steve-O.
Yes, I agree. It's doing pretty well at the moment. It's like, I think it's like 800,000th in the world. So it's actually doing very, very well indeed. It's got some nice differentials in there as well too.
That's a nice looking team, that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I like the Zaha pick myself. But
well, we may as well talk about my team since I've stupidly just posted
yes,
on the thing.
So your team is now on the screen. Captain Mane, I take it. Who are you choosing, Steve-O, or have you not decided yet? Or are you going to keep cards close to your chest?
I'm probably going to go with the history, but...
What, Ali?
Yeah, but I think...
No, you're not. You're not going to captain Dele Ali.
I'm honestly, I don't have a clue, to be honest with you. It's either going to be Son or Kevin De Bruyne or Ali, one of the three, but... Kevin De Bruyne looks very, very tempted, but he's just got his double-digit haul, so that means that he's probably going to get a single-digit tomorrow. Although he does very, very well in home fixtures. We haven't actually asked me about my transfers, and the transfers I did were, I don't even know, to be honest with you. Trent Alexander-Arnold out, along with Pulisic, and I brought in De Bruyne and Vertonghen. I just can't go without De Bruyne. I had to bring him back. I just thought that bloke just stuck a middle finger up to all his own non-owners, people that sold him last weekend.
Good as well, Steve-O.
Oh yeah, his form, and I've been heard as well through our friends at Planet FPL that he's looking very, very good indeed. He's got 2 double-digit returns in the last 2 fixtures. He looks like a mainstay. And wasn't it you, Boona, that said that he's taken Danny Rose's place now? He's started the last God knows how many games in a row.
Yeah, he has. I mean, I do fear that he may miss one game over the Christmas period just because of rotation with Rose on the bench. But if you've got a bench, then so what?
Yeah, he started the last 4 games in a row. Why, just of interest, why did he miss game weeks 10 to 13? Was that just pure injury?
I think he was injured, yeah.
Oh, there we are then. I think we and I'm assuming it's the same for game weeks 1 to 3. He was injured. But,
yeah, but there's also this whole thing going on with his contract. So I'm not sure if it was injury. It might have been both injury or the whole contract issue. But he seems to be all happy and back now. So
yeah. So yeah, I'm actually genuinely happy with the plus, like you mentioned earlier. I don't want to go with Aurier because everybody else owns him. So I just thought I may as well go with somebody else that's a bit different. And yeah, and I'm even actually thinking, depending on what I'm hearing, I may bring in Sterling for Mane. I may do that move for a -4, but for now,
Don't do
it is
Steve-O.
that. Yeah, it is on that.
Don't do it, Steve-O. Don't do it. Don't.
That is my team up on screen. I've got all the popular players covered. So if Rashford goes and scores, and he's captained by the majority, I've still got him. It's players like De Bruyne when you don't own them, and he's a highly owned player, and he goes and does what he's done. That's it. I'm done, and that completely killed me last week. My rank, not just.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't care less about overall, but in the cash league, I just dropped like a stone.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit worried not owning these particular players. So yes, there we have it.
Decent team.
For
Decent
free,
team.
by the way, as well. That was for free. Didn't have to take a hit for that either. So I'm happy with that.
No, but you may if you do the Sterling move in. But I think you'll be probably wanting to. Will you lose much value on Mane if you did that?
No,
0.4,
I lose 0.3
0.3?
because Mane's gone down in price.
Of course.
So it's only 0.3, and I can still bring it back, Mane, if I want to.
Interesting. Okay, well, decent team, Steve-O. Captain Ali, go for it, mate. Go for it. Follow the history. I'll bring my team up on the screen now for you guys to see. Just bear with me. So, yes. Gaeta in goal. Newcastle away. Confident in that game that he can get me some save points, possibly even a clean sheet. Got Aurier, Lundstrom and Soyuncu. Soyuncu being the player which I'm not expecting any returns from, to be quite honest with you. I think that my pick in Aurier and Lundstrom are going to be where the bulk of my points come from, if at all, for my defence. Ali, Maddison, Zaha and Son. Again, another Leicester player against Man City. The Mane transfer to Sterling is one that I've been contemplating for the last 3 days. I haven't done it. Obviously, the price has dropped on Mane. I still may do it because I do think that I've got a horrible feeling that Mousset is just a waste. So I might just do it just to have a better team for this game week for free, of course, not taking a point hit. So yeah, Mane to Sterling is definitely on the cards for me. So Ali, Maddison, Zaha and Son currently in my midfield. Mousset, Vardy and Rashford. And Rashford will be the captain at the moment. If I bring in Sterling, I may, in inverted commas, may captain Sterling. So yes.
Have you actually done any transfers this week?
No.
So it'd be for free?
It would be for free.
Mm.
Yeah, I think... Am I feeling all right? Yeah, I'm feeling fine, mate. Steve-O's normally looking at like a 0.4 or 0.8 catch-up on me before the game week even really starts. And this is a kind of a weird one now because it's status quo. Mousset is useless. It's all about Ings, says Ryan. Yes, I've missed out lots of points because of Ings. Any free hitters in here? I think quite a few people were mentioning the free hit chip. Personally, I think it's a bit of a waste of a game week to hit that free hit on, but it all depends. Each and everyone's team are different. Sterling's a troll, says Nasty Balls. I don't know. I had him last season for a nice few point hauls. Jason not considering Reed out for someone. I was considering Reed out, but I've still got 3 solid playing defenders. If I take Reed out, who am I going to bring in for the price that Reed is? And the money in my bank. I mean, I could have brought Rico in. I could afford to bring Rico in, or Target or something like that. But I don't I don't need to make that transfer, if that makes sense. I don't need to do it.
You're in a bit of a pickle, aren't you, Jason? Because you can't really, unless you've got rid of Mane, you can't really bring in one of the big hitters without taking hits. Is that right?
Yeah, it's because of the prices that they're at. Yeah, I'm in a little bit of a pickle, but I mean, again, it's kind of a bit of a godsend that Liverpool have got this blank game week, so we can have it obviously decide. And I think you don't have to necessarily bring in Liverpool players until the new year, to be honest with you, with their fixtures. Watch that backfire on me. I just told Sterling he's going to Hull, says Firetog. Firetog, please let you be the omen that releases Sterling's potential in FPL. Trent Alexander-Arnold is holding back a lot. I sold him for now, says Vish. Yes, I've got no value really tied up in Alexander-Arnold. I got him when he was 7.1, so I could happily get rid of him. But again, it would be for a defender. And in this particular game week, I'm not fond of many defender choices. It's with the attackers that I really want to be capitalising on. Is there any news on Aguero? Ari Hiroki saying Aguero hat-trick. Is there any news? I do apologise.
Oh yeah, he's basically he hasn't. What was it? He hasn't started training with the first team. Yeah, he's definitely not. He's not playing no matter what. I think he's just about to start training with the first team, but he hasn't quite done that yet.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's going to start the game. He may come on. Possibly there's an outside chance, but I certainly don't expect Aguero to be getting any hauls this game week. Apparently, he is back in training. Apparently, Aguero looks like he's back. He is training though. Right. Okay. Well, is he going to be fully match fit? I don't think he will be anywhere near fully match fit. So again, he'll be on the bench. Yeah, so that's my team anyway. So watch your space on Twitter probably when I have a meltdown come 10:30 on Saturday and probably make some crazy transfers and let Steve-O catch me up a little bit. But
I must say, I am actually very, very tempted with that Sterling move.
No.
I'm very tempted.
No.
Mane, he's I don't know what the turnaround is, but whenever they get back from, so it'd be Saturday
it's a
that
lot.
they play the final, then they'll get back and then they play on, is it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday at 8 o'clock against Leicester. That is not. I'm telling you now, Liverpool don't exactly inspire me with huge confidence. I mean, I know they played virtually a makeshift team last night. I know it's a bit of a joke and everything, but it would have been so funny if they were knocked out last night. If that, whatever they were called, Montenegro or whatever they were, knocked them out. That would have just been so funny because I don't know why. I watched the game just about, and my goodness, I know it was just a makeshift team, but Liverpool just looked like they couldn't be bothered. And they were up for a fight, this, however you pronounce this other team. And I know completely different circumstances. I know that when they get back, it will be obviously against Leicester. But Leicester at home, they're no mugs. And then, of course, after that, Liverpool at home to Wolves. Man City's fixtures are picking up, and it's a
-4 though, Steve-O. It's a -4. You don't want to do that, mate.
And by the way, thank you, Boona, for joining us. I know you were now watching, but Boona's done a -12. I'm sure there are many other. In fact, let's do a poll in chat. If you've taken a hit this game week, simply put a Y in chat. That's all you got to do. Put a Y in chat, and away you go. But
I don't think you need to do that move. Not for a -4.
You're a rival, mate. I'm not interested. And also, if I wasn't to do that move, there is a temptation that I may, after 2 more weeks, potentially go to a 3-5-2 and bring in Mohamed Salah for Dendonka. Oh, a lot of Y's in the chat, Jason. A lot of Y's indeed.
Make a decision. Toss a coin, mate. Mane's fixture proof. Is he rotation proof?
Yeah. Well, the way Shaqiri played last night, he ain't gonna be losing. Oh, I wonder.
Well,
I wonder.
I'm gonna wait until the last minute on this Sterling transfer myself. So, but I want to say right now that if I do it after Steve, I'm not copying him, all right? Because he's just literally stolen my idea. Because the last 3 days I've been like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Then it's like, come the preview, he's done his transfers, but then he's thinking about doing a -4 for this one. So yes, I'm not. Steve, I'm putting it out there now. You're copying me if you do that transfer. Not that it actually makes a damn bit of difference, other than the fact that we are going to have very similar teams if you do. Do it if you'll captain him. Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason what I'm thinking of Scott
God,
Speed.
all this. God, I hate that.
Are you going to captain him, Steve-O?
No.
Not even in your mind to captain him if you bring him in for a -4. Obviously, you think he's going to do well if you bring him in for -4.
So it's just the coverage over the next few game weeks. He could potentially just
coverage
explode.
You've got De Bruyne.
No, I mean like Man City coverage in general.
Yeah, but you've got De Bruyne.
That's just one player.
Yeah, but most people have got one Man City player in the top 1 million.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, and that's the coverage. That's the coverage. 24.6%. Wow, he's gone down to 24.6. Sterling.
He still has. He hasn't. Oh, is that Sterling? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not that low.
41.7 for KDB. Interesting. Very interesting. But yes, we've got Give Me the Cruise waiting to jump in with us. Let's bring him in. Good evening, Give Me the Cruise. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing? Is this the first time of being on with us?
No, I think I've been on once before.
Oh, okay. Under the same name?
Yeah. It was a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I just, my memory doesn't serve me that well. Then I don't.
That's all right. You speak to a lot of people probably.
No problem. So I've just put your team up on the chat there. So we were talking about captaincy options, and immediately when I look at your team, you've gone with a Son captain. Is that set in stone, or are you still unbalanced? Are you still undecided between him and Rashford? Who's your vice?
I think in my team, they're the only two that I can really decide between. I don't know about the rest. I think Son, but Rashford's been pretty good. So, but I don't think Watford are that bad. So, I think they're pretty poor at getting goals, but I don't think they're that bad defensively.
What are you predicting for that game?
I would say maybe 1 or 2-0. I don't see Watford scoring. I reckon Rashford will probably be involved, but it could be a 1-0 or it could be a 1-1. I don't see it being that easy.
Sorry, this is hilarious. Show me the Mane. This is why I love being back on YouTube, because I get to see Show me the Mane. And Charlie, aka Chicken Tikka Mo Salah, the One Rovers vlog. Charlie has gone quiet since he dropped a third in the Cash League. It's the radio silence of despair when you drop like a stone. I feel his pain.
See, it was not the same without Show Me the Mane coming in with his rhetoric in the chat and his controversial team selections that gets people talking and gets people's backs up, even though it's not their teams and it's a rival. A pleasure to have you with us, Show Me the Mane. And back to you, Cruz, Mr. Cruz. I'm liking your team as a whole. Interesting picking Taylor there.
Oh yeah, cheers. I saw him. I thought it would actually be quite a good transfer because he was originally, most Burnley fans thought he would play as starting 11 for the whole season, but then he got injured. And then I saw that he dropped because there were actually quite a few people that owned him and then dropped him. So he went to 4.2 and he got 2 clean sheets in a row, got him in, and then he got injured straight away. So, yeah.
I've literally just got to nip upstairs. I'll be right back a second, Steve. Okay, just take it away.
I think Dice just said, though, that Charlie Taylor has just started training with the first team and everything, and there's a chance he may start. But I think, unfortunately, Eric Peters may be the one that gets the nod ahead. But you've got Soyuncu, and it's despite the fact that he's away at Man City. To be fair, they're usually quite tight games. What transfers have you done this particular game week, if you've done any at all?
You were going to laugh at this one. I brought in Son for De Bruyne just before the City game, but I'm not too upset because I think he's got easier fixtures for the next couple of weeks. But even De Bruyne's probably going to be one of the best of the whole season if he stays fit. But I've just felt like having Son over Christmas because it went well last year.
You didn't think about getting rid of Mane for Son and benching Cantwell?
In retrospect, probably, but to be honest, I actually want to keep Mane like really long term. But to be honest, if I had thought about it properly, I'd have gotten rid of Mane if I'd done it again.
A lot of people obviously are talking about Jack Grealish and everything. Number one, what's your prediction for Aston Villa versus Southampton, and are you confident Grealish will return?
Well, I think he's one of those players that I don't feel there's that much risk with because he plays every minute and he's actually on sort of 60 points and his form's picked up. So I don't expect him to do anything crazy, but I could see in the next 2 out of 3 him getting about 5-10 points each game because they're very straightforward fixtures. I reckon maybe a penalty, an assist or an open play goal.
Jason's expecting a very low scoring average this week. He said 40 points, maybe even 30. I can't quite see it being that low. Are you expecting quite a high scoring game week? I mean, regarding the predictions and everything, what do you see as being the most high scoring game this particular game week? I've got it down as Tottenham versus Chelsea or Man City Leicester. Do you have any teams that you think are going to be scoring well this particular game week?
I think you're right. I think because you've got 2, top 6 sides in Chelsea and Tottenham that have fairly leaky defences, I can see a lot of their front line bringing in, decent hauls, for attackers and midfielders on the Chelsea and Spurs teams. I think Leicester versus City will be a really sort of tense game, and I think one goal could decide the whole thing. Whoever gets that first goal. And I've seen the bookie odds and it's saying that Leicester are the underdogs, which is surprising.
Yeah, I knew when, like I said in the preview, I think that despite the fact that I think it's going to be 3-1 Leicester, the history does suggest a very tight game. Let's bring on Rohit. Rohit, are you there? Hello, Rohit. You just need to unmute yourself and we can have a coherent conversation. Nope. Okay, let's get on Anish then. Anish, good evening.
Yes, I'm good. How are you guys?
Ah, there it is. Hey. Well, yeah. Give me the Cruise thinks it's going to be a very open game. You're confident in Ali captain?
Not really, because in last
All right.
3 days I've changed my captain 3 times. I mean, I was on De Bruyne, then I was on Ali. Then looking at the yesterday's game for the EFL Cup for the Manchester United, I was on Rashford after that. So it's really confusing. I don't know which one
Was
to
any
go with. And
Colchester?
either
Sorry,
way,
go.
whichever one, oh yeah, Colchester. Whichever one I'm gonna pick, I'm sure the other one is gonna do better. So we'll just see.
Sorry for the mute, guys. I do apologise. Interesting that you got a captain dilemma. Have you made transfers? Sorry, did you say?
Yes, I did. I sold Tomori and I got in my target.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see the point in that. I like the team. I really do. You got De Bruyne in your team. Your City coverage, and you've got
Yeah,
the
I
big
was just
hitters there.
about, thinking about it last week whether I should bring in Son for De Bruyne, but then he went on and got that 19-pointer against Arsenal, so there's no way he's going out now.
Well, what do you think of Give Me the Cruise getting rid of De Bruyne and bringing in Son this particular game week?
It sounds like a good move because, I mean, Spurs are at home and Leicester have a tough defense. So up until recently, they were the second best defense in the league. So, but apart from that one game against Manchester United, De Bruyne hasn't not scored good points at home. I think maybe once in all the games before, he has not scored. So it's a 50-50. So, I mean, you can only talk about it retrospectively, if he did good or not. But otherwise, I think it's a 50-50.
Does that give you any? How does that make you feel, giving the Cruise with Rohit saying that De Bruyne has done so well this season at home?
I think, well, I'll say I'm a bit of an idiot because I did it just before the City game, the transfer, and it was a bit of a sideways move. But I think for this week, I'm not sure, but for the next 2 or 3 weeks after, I think I'd rather have Son, so I'm not that upset. Because he's got much more straightforward fixtures. I think City have got Sheffield and Wolves, and then Wolves again, and I think no top 6 side really enjoys playing them away.
Rohit has gone potentially is thinking of captaining Rashford after their 3-0 victory against Colchester. Do you think that's a bit of a mad one, considering it is only Colchester? And like you said, Watford aren't exactly going to... Well, you don't think they're going to get battered, do you?
I don't think Watford are a team that will get battered in the same way that a Championship team will, because they've been up in the Prem for a long time now. They've got the squad depth in a lot of ways. They've got that composure, and they've played a lot of these big teams in their stadiums before. I just think they're used to it. Whereas, like a weaker side like Norwich or someone that isn't used to it will be, more likely for 6-0 or whatever. So I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I think this is a hard week for captains. It could go anyway.
It's a great week for captains, though, isn't it? After Vardy. Like, now we've got a week where the real thought processes are going to have to play a part in this captaincy picks now. Like, yes, there is luck. We know there's luck in FPL, but seriously, I love the fact that this captaincy landscape is going to be cut into different sections. We're going to see people go with Jimenez. In fact, looking at Rohit's team, People going with Jimenez, people sticking with Vardy, people going with Rashford as a punt, like myself. Again, you got Ali, you got Son, you've got Kane as an outside option, you've got Sterling, De Bruyne, even Jesus for those people that really want to, gamble on Man City. And I love
definitely
it.
Jimenez as well, because he's against Norwich, and I think that's a pretty standout one as well.
Him, yeah, definitely. I love it. I love it. I much prefer FPL when it's like this than when everyone's singing the same hymn sheet and going, "Yeah, we're going to go with Vardy." Why? Because
I definitely enjoyed it.
You don't even enjoy the captain score. When Vardy scores, you almost know that almost half of the people in your league and many leagues are going to be captaining him.
Yeah.
So it's no fun.
Absolutely.
This is a week where, you're going to have to keep checking everyone's team. You're going to have to keep checking every score, who's scoring, who's assisting.
Rohit, what did you think of... I'll ask you as well, give me the cruiser. We'll let Rohit answer first. What did you think of FPL Booner's -12?
That's really out of the box for me, because taking out Vardy and De Bruyne at the same time, then people want to play their own game. You don't want to go with a template every time. So if it works out, it's going to go really up. Otherwise, he's going to fall down. It'll fall really badly.
And give me the cruise. Your thoughts on taking such a lot, not specifically for Booner, but for anybody, people like Jason and stuff. They take these ginormous double-digit hits. Your thoughts on taking hits in general, and especially at the high echelons of -12, 16s.
Well, I go by 3 rules. The first that can influence a hit that I think will make it justify it. First is if you're switching a player for a player that would otherwise not play and you don't have a starting 11, that's justifiable. If you're switching from a player that's a fairly weak captain to a captain that's much stronger, that's sometimes justifiable for a -4. And also if there's a massive fixture swing that's long term, I think that's sometimes justifiable. So if it's a -12 and his team's probably okay, if he's having more fun, then maybe, but I don't think it will get him more points overall.
Should we get on Crazy Jack, Jason?
Yeah, let's go bring on the Lacazette Appreciation Club. Good evening, Crazy Jack. It's myself, Jason, and Steve-O here on the Gameweek 18 preview. How you doing?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, super fragilistic. What's your team looking like, Gameweek 18, Crazy Jack? Is it still got Lacazette in it? Let me guess. Yes.
Of course it has.
Yeah, it's still got Lacazette.
Oh,
I already made my transfers before, so that's why he's still in
Go
there.
for it.
But so my transfers before, it was 2 transfers for free, and it was Robertson and Abraham out for Kelly and Rashford. I brought them in. I think Lacazette will play, but if he doesn't, I will be getting him out.
Last chance saloon.
No, I would wait until I can make a free transfer. I don't want to take any hits really. So, because the next fixtures aren't exactly great from most teams, so I'm not too worried.
Does the Arteta probability of a managerial appointment, does that inspire you to maybe Lacazette may get some starts now, or do you think it's not going to help his cause at all?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what his experience is going to be. I don't know if he's going to change it up or he's just going to follow Lundberg. It's going to be very weird, but it's not exactly.
Well, what do you think of the actual probable appointment itself, just in general?
Show me a Mane. Sorry, that's funny.
Meh.
So true.
What about you? Give me the cruise.
On Arteta, to be honest, I don't really know. I couldn't say. I haven't actually watched him coach any previous clubs, so I don't know if I can say much.
Yeah, it's very just meh. Like
It could work out good long term, but at the moment it's not exactly a headline sort of signing, is it? To be fair, managerial sign. I mean, Arteta's done really well for Man City. A lot of good things to be said about him there. Can he do anything at Arsenal in a team that is just looking dreadful at the moment? I don't think it's the magic formula that Arsenal need. I think there's deeper problems at Arsenal that need to be solved, and I think that it's just going to perpetuate. But best of luck to him anyway. I hope he has a nice severance package and a nice boosting his wages. Lacazette, on the other hand, I just think that as talented as he is, FPL-wise, he's just a massive risk. Away at Everton, you'd like to think he'd play a substantial part of that game, if not all of it. If he doesn't, sorry, but I'll be rage transferring him out of my team. -4, -8, I wouldn't care. Mason Mount, interesting. Wants a FPL pin-up of game weeks gone by. Away at Tottenham with that... I think there's a couple of players in there that I'd be looking to ship out. And a few players that I'd be looking to bring back in. But all in all, it's not a bad team, to be fair. It's not a bad team at all.
Are you set on Kevin De Bruyne captain?
It was originally on Rashford, but I just think it's a case of form versus consistency. And I would rather go with the safety. I feel more confident in De Bruyne. His home record's been better. It's been very good. I think he's blanked 1 or 2. So he's always got a return at home. And he's done quite well against the top 6 at home. Well, except United. But still.
I'm still waiting for you to captain him, mate.
Lacazette or what, De Bruyne?
Well, I mean, sorry. We are talking about like De Bruyne. I just keep looking at
I think you're more
Lacazette.
obsessed with Lacazette.
I'm literally all I see when I see your team. I think,
yeah, that's the first thing. Like, oh, Lacazette.
Lacazette. Yeah. In fact, guys, let's bring it. Let's just make it so everyone can see that he's got Lacazette in, shall we? There we go.
The Crazy Jack.
Are
you an Arsenal fan?
No.
Oh.
I just
a big fan of his football, or?
Oh, he's just a beast.
I do like him.
No, but he was a very good player. He just wasn't played a lot, and like when he's played so far this season, he's done really well. Like,
I think the issue is when he plays, he makes Aubameyang play out of his spot, and it makes Arsenal less effective.
Yeah, but Aubameyang's on my team, so I'm fine with that.
Jason, I actually came on here a while ago, and I think it was like week 10.
Yeah.
And I had
what did I say that was wrong?
I had Rashford in.
Yeah.
And you said you weren't sure. And to be fair, I had Martial and Wan-Bissaka in, and they weren't so good.
And at that point, I was probably blasting everything it was about Man United. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
a few weeks later, I brought him in.
But you said come on the show, but I haven't been on in ages. So this is I haven't been on about 6-7 weeks, but I was supposed to update you.
Well, I mean, so you had Rashford in for his returns. What are you trying to get at here? Sorry.
But basically, you said come and prove me wrong. So come on.
Oh, I appreciate you coming and proving me wrong. I mean, I'm wrong a lot of the time. Just to be honest with you. So it's just going to put the armband on Lacazette because Crazy Jack's too chicken to do it himself. There you go.
By the way, Jason, what rank are you in the world now?
Do I need to answer that question?
No, you don't. No, I'm just curious because I like because a lot of the people in
342,000.
That's not bad.
Give or take. I mean, I was possibly it was De Bruyne pretty much has literally ruined everything. My plans. Yeah. If it wasn't for his pesky goal, 2 goals, and I think that
I don't know why you took him out. Like,
oh yeah, all right.
To be fair, he was blanking.
Anyway, let's move on from that, shall we, Lacazette?
So are you not Well, you watch now, you'll get an absolute brace. You'll be there like, wow.
Yeah, well, you just need to armband him, don't you? There you go.
Build the faith. Are you not confident at all at Chelsea right now?
Am I not confident in what? Chelsea
at all?
No, I think no. I've got a bet on with Phil. I don't know if you know that. I think that Tammy Abraham's going to score 5 goals in 5 games. So there you go. I'm confident.
Like, Mount's at a very good price for.
Yeah, but Mount is. I mean, it depends. I mean, it seems that when I don't know, weirdly Pulisic being involved, I think Mount's kind of lost a bit of his presence in the games that I've seen him in. He's not as attacking, not been in the opponent's box as much as I'd like to see.
Isn't he playing deeper? Apparently,
he is. He's playing deeper.
He's back in 10. He's Pulisic, if anything, Pulisic has been knocked out.
Well, hopefully for Mount owners that is the case. But again, I mean, there's only so many game weeks I can be patient, and I got rid of him personally. But I mean, again, it's a player that has got potential to get you those points, but he's not in form. Mount won't start versus Spurs 4-3-3, says James Bang in chat. Thoughts on that?
Mount looks exhausted. He played like for 3 months. He played every game. Like midweek, weekend, EFL Cup, Champions
I'd be
League.
worried about rotation.
Yeah,
I would be worried about rotation. And Sterling as well is not averse to rotation. So if I did bring Sterling in, do you think Pep? I mean, I know we're moving off of Mount now, but your thoughts on Pep's rotation with Sterling as well? Because obviously it's getting to that time of year, isn't it?
I think he could well be rested this weekend because he played yesterday.
Against Leicester.
I don't think he's going to be resting.
Well, we know De Bruyne is not
Sterling,
going to get benched because every time he's been benched, they lose.
I think if Aguero was fully fit, I think that affects Sterling's position. Well, his nailedness, if that makes sense. I just think that Pep being where he is in the table, he can't really afford to. I mean, with Sane being out, I just don't think he can afford to bench.
And there's a Sheffield United game on 29th, which is exactly one day after.
Do you think you've given up on the expensive Liverpool defenders as well? Well, I say Robertson and Trent. Robertson and Trent, yes.
Say again, sorry.
Have you had enough with?
No, not. Well, maybe double, but not one. At least one of them, I think you should have in.
You still think it's better like getting them than getting like Gomez or something?
I do think they've got the massive potential that you look for in a defender to get you extra points, whether it be bonus or assist or a goal. I mean, Liverpool's playstyle hasn't changed this season. Trent's still going forward, so is Robertson. I mean, they are wingers in a sense, and Trent's just got an amazing right foot in him. He can just whip balls into the likes of Firmino, Mane, and Wijnaldum. I think that anyone that's looking to have any defender over 6 million needs to really bring in one of the two. I think there's not really anyone else that I would be looking at near or around that price point. I know that it's over 7 million, but still, I think that they're great. They're great assets to own.
That's what I mean. I think has it gotten to the point now where it's just better to go with the cheap?
It's only because I think the blank game week has obviously caused people to, and the fact that Liverpool have been shipping goals, and Trent hasn't really been hitting those assists of late. But I just wouldn't be too concerned about that at the moment. I know I talked about patience and how long I can be patient with a player, but I just think that someone of his caliber, playing at a Liverpool team that's free scoring in top of the league, they're on the high. I couldn't not have one of them in at least.
I think I could be. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying because like a lot of the cheaper defenders like are attacked. Like obviously Lundstrom's an exception.
Lundstrom's an absolute legend.
But then like Aurier's under 5 mil. Was he under 5 mil now? He's 5.1, but he's super attacking. Rico's super attacking when he does set pieces. It's like they have the same qualities, but yet they're like 2 million plus cheaper.
Yeah, but they're not playing
like
for Liverpool. That's the only
he's
point.
five
but
million.
Liverpool aren't getting.
So like, why are you getting these 7 million defenders?
I see a point, and believe you me, I've been chopping and changing throughout the season about it. No, I see the valid point there in terms of cheap defenders and going heavy up front. And the thing is, you don't need to go silly heavy up front. You've got decent midfield options and striker options this year still, in the likes of Abraham, in the likes of Jimenez, in the likes of Rashford. I mean, they're not premium prices, and you can still have a decent midfield with the likes of. So we're talking about Maddison. We got I know I've got him. I know a lot of people haven't. Zaha, for example, you can still fill a midfield out quite well and still have that balance in your team. I just don't think you need to. Well, play your own game, isn't it?
Can I speak about Zaha for a second? Because I feel like a lot of people have brought him in, and it was because of the fixture swing, and he had absolutely nothing to show for it the whole season. And I looked at that and I was like, I'm tempted, but I just tried to stay away from it. I'm so glad I did.
I think that a lot of people laughed at me when I brought Zaha in, and he didn't do anything for 2 game weeks, and then I just feel like the massive weight off my shoulder last game week. But I mean, am I still confident with him going forward? No, but at the price point, I don't really feel like I need to be pinning so many hopes on him. He's just a filler player.
He's great value.
Yeah,
midfield from attacking, and he's a bonus point magnet. So I think he is really good value when play as well. And to be honest, he could have a big score soon. So I might be wrong.
Cool.
Back on Liverpool, actually, after game week 24, I think they'll be, essential. But at the moment, I think they've got some really bad, not easy fixtures offensively, because they've got Wolves, Sheffield, Spurs, Man United, Wolves, Leicester.
A lot of travelling as well involved in between. But no, some great points made there, and I like the fact we've got different teams, different captaincy thoughts, and whose team is it here was De Bruyne captain? Crazy Jack. Go ahead, be different, captain someone different. I like it. Go with De Bruyne. There you go. It's my advice. But
do you reckon Salah's on the up again?
Oh yeah,
I do.
Yeah. Everything's pointing that way at the moment. Have you brought in Sterling yet? Says John Harris to Steve-O.
No, I'm not going to. I've just looked at his recent history, whatever. It's rubbish.
There we go, guys. I've got into his head. He's not doing it. Awesome.
Maybe Salah might be the better choice, though. Like, even if
bring Salah in for this game week, Steve. Bring Salah.
Okay, maybe not this week.
Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure. Steve, have we got much more to discuss, or should we just...
Well, yes, you have some news for everybody watching right now. The Daily Llama's Champions League tournament. Please let everybody know what's going on Monday.
Of course. So me and Daily Llama, moderator in the chat, we're going to be having some discussions over the weekend. Give me the cruise. You drink water almost as loud as Steve-O.
Oh, sorry. I'm really unaware of where my mic is. I didn't know if it was in my my headset or in my phone. My bad.
So we're going to have a little chat, me and Daily Llama, at some point over the weekend. I'm going to have a tombola stroke lottery machine kind of graphic on the screen, and we're going to be drawing out balls or numbers on air, and we're going to do the draw live, and it's going to be on Monday. All being well and good, it's going to be on Monday. We're going to find out who's going to be in what groups in the Elite FPL Champions League. We've got some big names in there. If you're not sure, is it
the full draw then? There's going to be celebrities too.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's going to be seeds. There's going to be seeds, but it's going to be all the 70, 69 or whatever it was. Boona can tell me. All those. He's done all the hard work on this. So I need to give him all the credit really for this. And it's going to be great to see who's in what group. But yes, thank you to all of you that have joined us tonight. We've had over 200 viewers for quite some time of the show, which is great considering we've come back to YouTube, and you guys have stuck with us on our traverse over to Twitch. We will be back live on Twitch on Saturday for the midday games. We'll be doing live stream, reacting live to those games, and of course we'll be doing the Sunday surgery as per normal on YouTube this Sunday. Keep posted on the time, because I know Steve-O, the later it gets for Steve-O, the harder it is for him to do streams. I completely understand that, and going forward, you may or may not see Steve-O in these preview shows because of the fact that he works very different hours to me, and he has to get up very, very early. So him being awake now is not doing his body clock any good, but Steve-O can probably attest to that. So that means more morning opportunities to do streams, doesn't it, Steve-O?
Yeah.
So
yes, essentially, yeah.
So don't worry, we'll still be doing streams, but we'll just have to restructure them, and we'll just have to do whatever's best for his health eventually, essentially, guys. Thank you again. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It supports our show. It gets us up on the rankings. If you would like to know when we go live, hit the notification bell. It's a little dingly bell next to the subscribe. It lets you know when we go live. We are on Twitter. We are on
Jason,
Instagram. Yeah.
I just noticed on the fantasy football site that on the player team selection, they've got the advertisement as YouTube. Would you believe? I thought I was looking at something that was part
Really?
of our
There you
thing,
go.
but no. If you go on the My Team, the advertising hoardings is of their YouTube channel. Interestingly enough,
Oh, there you go.
there's one of our rivals on the YouTube.
Well, thank you, everybody. Hit us up on
Yes.
social media. Hit us up with a subscribe, and we'll see you on Twitch at the
Good
weekend.
luck.
Take care.
Cheers,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Good night.
Bye.